Hi everyone, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing another entry in my September Cocoa Daisy Traveler's Notebook. Today's spread is all about these 3 photos, and it is documenting our garden growing, and our fall vegetables are finally starting to come into season for us, which is broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Now, this is our first year attempting broccoli and cauliflower in a number of years. So I wanted to document it because what we ended up getting was absolutely huge and we couldn't believe it. So what I have here is my, it's the Daisy Fields kit from Cocoa Daisy. And I had to think for a second because it's been a minute since I've done this video. And I have a little bit left over of this kit, and I'm trying to use it up on the last spreads that I have for this notebook before I move into October. But there were these 2 3x4 cards that I received in my add-on, the pocket cards, that I really wanted to use because the greens were perfect. And I loved that it said what we ate today, and then I documented the story about it. I do end up lining the 2 photos and the what we ate today on the left page on the white background. It is a grid paper, but I really wanted something with a little bit more of a touch of color behind it, kind of to frame these in. So I grabbed the Daisy stamp that was in the 3x4 stamp set that comes with this kit and pulled out the antique linen distress ink and just did some really rough stamping. They weren't 100% perfect images. I didn't care. I rotated the stamp so that it was all different. And once I get the 2 photos and the piece of that trimmed down 3x4 card back on this page, it looks so good. It's just that little touch of color with a little bit of detail behind it, and it just adds a little something to that left side of this spread because it was a little bit more blank compared to the pattern paper on the right. So these 2 photos I do trim down to be the same size as what I trimmed that 3x4 card down to. And I am just going to adhere them right down the center of this page. I'll leave the gaps a little bit. As close as I can get, I'll leave those, and then I'm just going to shoot over and do the right-hand side. Now, I do have this documented September Stories card that was in this month's kit. It is the perfect color of green, again, to match the paper and the cards, so I wanted to add that, but it was missing something on the top and the bottom. So I have these 2 pieces of tabs, and these tabs I used I believe it is the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch, and I used the leftover pieces from the card on the left side of the page to punch those for the right side. So it's going to bring that darker green now into the right side of my page, and it helps make this layout a lot more cohesive and flows a lot better for my eye anyways. So I'm going to put that card in the first tab up at the top. The bottom is going to be where my photo is going to go, and I'm going to add the second tab right underneath that photo, just kind of like as a balance, one on the top left, another on the bottom right. It helps ground that side as well. And then I also had the circle sticker from the kit that said noted still left, and because it was the perfect color of green, I went ahead and tucked that right in behind that photo on the right hand side of my page. I am going to add in my date on this top left tab. Thought that was the perfect place to put it, so we're going to double stamp it up there. Me personally, I love double stamping my dates. I think it adds a little bit more messiness and uniqueness to it, so that everything doesn't always have to feel so perfect. I do have this stamp. This is from my stash. This is an older Studio Calico stamp subscription, and it was all about foodie things. So desserts, brunch, dinner, enjoying, the words yum. This speech bubble that I'm stamping here says bon appetit. I will go in and grab this word stamp here. It says ate this, loved it. And then I will add in a banner stamp that has a fork and a knife on it here eventually too. This was some trial and error, and I decided to leave it in. 1, because this spread came together very quickly, but 2, I wanted you to see that you get different impressions with your stamps depending on what kind of inks you use. The Bon Appetit worked okay with that first distress ink, It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough for me because my ink pad wasn't very wet. When I tried to use that Twisted Citron Oxide, I wasn't getting very good impressions because my ink pad is still very wet. I don't use this color a whole lot, so it wasn't stamping out the letters and the sentiments very good. So I opted to scratch that for the Ate This, Love This banner, and then also this flag. And I pulled out my go-to archival ink. Archival is the best stamping ink for whenever you have words and pictures like this. So I always have those handy, and that's what I used for these two. So I am going to go in and fussy cut out my little fork and knife. I absolutely love that. And then I decided to use the Twisted Citron because of the green color. So I just picked out the best one of the 4 stamped images there and fussy cut it out. When I stamped these, I did use some scrap paper, but it is sticker paper. I get my sheets of sticker paper online in bulk. I can link down below. It's from Online Label Company. I do have some permanent label paper and then also some removable, and this I believe is the removable that I used. I like that little bit of flexibility that just in case I put it down, I don't like it, I can pick it up and move it. The label paper is a little bit more expensive, but this stuff lasts forever, so I don't mind putting a little bit out in the beginning. So anyways, I'm going to fussy cut those 3 out and try to find the right place of where I want to put these on my page. So I go back and forth a little bit, but in the end, I do end up putting that Bon Appetit where I'm trying to put the... I'm so indecisive, you guys. It's crazy. I'll do this for hours before I really land on where I'm going to put things. But right there is where it's all going to sit. So the Bon Appetit is going to go up on the top left. The silverware banner is going to go on that bottom photo on the top right. And then the Ate This, Loved This is going to go on the bottom by that green banner. I go back into my stash and I want to add a couple little bit more things. I looked at the rub-ons for a minute, decided that it just wasn't the layout for that kind of thing. So I pulled in this Daisy Puffy sticker. Really, it's the same color of whites that I'm using, and it matched everything well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that there. And then lastly, I add in some of my enamel dots. My colors are getting to be a little bit scarce, so I have the bulk of what I have left is green and purple, because purple did not go with this spread at all. I just stuck with using the green. I do add 2 over by my noted circle, 2 there right above my fork and knife, 1 on my Bon Appetit, and then 3 over underneath my Ate This, Loved This sentiment, and then that calls this spread done. I do add in my journaling here. I don't include it all because it does take me a little bit to write it, but you guys, that's going to be it for today's spread. Very easy, came together super quick. Not a lot of over embellishing. This spread really lets the photos and the journaling tell the story. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I hope you have been inspired. If you are new, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and to please like and follow my channel. You guys, that really helps out my channel a lot, and I appreciate everything that you do. Thanks so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. Bye.